Hello and welcome to a brand new installment of Nintendo News Report for Friday, May the 18th, 2018. I'm your host, Donald Terriel. Alex Kulafi would be joining us tonight, but he's out with what doctors are describing as an upper body injury. He should be back next week. But we do have two other regular Nintendo News reporters with us here this evening. First up, from historic New Jersey, Justin Berube.
Hello, everybody.
And man from Alaska who is currently ducking the slings and arrows, Zach Miller.
Jump, jump, slide, slide.
You're just reminding me why I'm not buying that game on the eShop this week.
It's a lot better than I remember it.
Is that 8?
Yeah.
That Mega Man 8 is the worst of the.
No, 7 is terrible. 7 is inexcusably bad.
I would still play 7 over 8.
Oh, brutal.
If there was a version of 8 that had the cutscenes and voice acting patched out, I would probably buy it. As it is, I'm waiting for a super sale on that.
I haven't seen any cutscenes in this one.
Have you been skipping them? Because
Maybe.
I know they're in there.
That might be
there.
Because I'm not too big on Elma Fudd as Dr. White.
I think the one major thing missing from that whole collection is Mega Man Base isn't part of it.
It's not missing at all.
Well, it'd be
We're not
nice
missing
to have
anything.
It'd be nice to have the Super Nintendo version of that, because the only way we ever got it in the West was on the GBA.
Exactly.
That's true.
But in any event, it's been a while since we've done one of these, and there's a lot to go through, so let's get right into it. First story, sort of not really a story in full, but it's probably the biggest news of the week, so we may as well talk about it. 2 days apart, or within 2 days of each other, we had two major leaks for potential upcoming Switch games. The first one, which John Raridan has gone into extensive detail on this here YouTube channel, Star Fox Grand Prix, which seems to be taking the Diddy Kong racing approach to the Star Fox universe, and apparently that is the next retro game that will actually release, although we don't know when that would be. And
I'm not convinced this is real. It just seems so weird.
I mean, we know that there's a potential for it to exist because they actually tease it out in one of the endings of Star Fox Command, I believe it is.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
there's an ending that references Fox and Falco joining the
the G0, I think.
Yeah, the G0 circuit.
And they have like F-Zero cars, but based on the rumors, this doesn't sound anything like F-Zero. It sounds more like it would be racing in R-Wings.
Oh. Even so, that could be kind of cool.
R-Wings, Landmasters, whatever the sub was.
Blue Marine.
Thank you.
Yeah, Blue Marine.
Yeah, I can't wait for pitch black racing, and you have to keep shooting missiles to see the track.
Well, wouldn't be the stupidest thing they've ever done with a racing game, but yeah, I'm intrigued to see what this is, because apparently the retro that developed this is like the second different time that the company has been T-tabled since Nintendo took them over. The first time being in 2008, when the heads of retro who were responsible for Metroid Prime Trilogy were rightfully escorted off the campus and went on to form Armature Studio, makers of such bangers as Recore.
Oh, that's right. And the Batman game, which is okay until the end. Actually, that's not true. It's kind of a bad game.
Yes. And yes, Cherry Goblin, we do need to have a dinosaur planet as a course.
Yeah, I could go with that.
I mean, I don't know what to think about this game at this point. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I kind of want to see it in action to understand more of what it actually is, if this is real. But my one thing is, if it is real, there's clearly going to be some online component to it for obvious reasons. And if there is online, I want there to be voice chat.
Well, now you're just talking crazy.
I know, because I mean, Mario Kart just seems sterile without the voice chat, and I'd like to have a racing game from Nintendo where I could talk to people.
You mean outside of hooking up into a Discord channel or, God forbid, using the app?
Well,
Oh, the app. Don't
I
forget the
understand.
app.
I understand when I say this, the app may be the only way to do it. But I mean, if you're gonna stand by that app, stand by it and let me use it in games. Don't just pretend like, oh, it doesn't exist.
Mm. The extent of the communication I like in my racing games is just spamming. I'm using tilt controls before each race in
Right.
Mario Kart.
And maybe they can even give me a headset when I buy the game in some special edition.
There you go.
It's like Fox's headset or something.
Wouldn't be the first time they packed an accessory in with a Star Fox game.
That's why it's perfect.
Yes. For those of you who are too young to realize what we're talking about, we're referring to the original N64 Rumble Pack.
Love that Rumble Pack.
That kind of changed gaming in the long run, in all honesty.
did.
And that's why.
Are you telling me that this Rumble Pack actually lets players feel the game?
Yeah.
Impossible.
And yeah, and again, Cherry Goblin here saying, did Retro Studios help with Mario Kart 7? I want to say the extent of that was just doing, like, they handed over some assets and rebuilt them for the 3DS
Yeah, I
based on
think
Donkey
that's
Kong
right.
Country Returns.
Well, yeah, didn't they build that one track though, the Donkey Kong Country?
Yeah, the DKC track that I think that got rolled back into 8.
Yeah.
So they do have a little bit of racing experience, but again, the studio has gone through so much turnover the last 4 years since the original release of Tropical Freeze that who knows if those people are still there. And apparently there's been some drama over another project they were working on that was a different series, may have been an entirely new IP for all we know, but could be something that may get trotted back at some point because we know that Nintendo keeps everything for a long time.
Oh, that's true. Oh, there's a cutscene right there. Oh, good lord.
Zach is experiencing the joys of Elmer Fudd.
And the 10-year-old girl voicing Mega Man.
Yes, and speaking of universes with 10-year-old characters, the other big rumor of the week came on Tuesday with the rumor that the Switch Pokemon RPG is not going to be apparently Generation 8, like most of us were expecting, but would instead be sort of a side series reimagining of Pokemon Yellow.
What?
With 2 versions, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, because you need a comparable starter, and both of those starters only look good when they have a Thunderstone used on them.
Oh my god.
Before you get too hyped up, Zach, we should warn you, the rumor is that this is meant to appeal to the Pokemon Go fan base, which is
bye-bye.
somewhat disturbing. I'm kind of intrigued to see how they would introduce Pokemon Go elements into a console game.
True.
But the implication is that it's going to be using the Sun and Moon engine or some high-defified version of it, but would not be a full Pokemon game. I believe one of the things that I heard was that it wouldn't even connect to Pokemon Bank.
Yeah, if it's not part of the main series, I don't see how it could connect to Pokemon Bank faithfully. I know that Pokemon Go uses like a different type of stat conversion based on the original stats that can be pushed over in a weird way. But unless Pokemon Go somehow gets the ability to send Pokemon to Bank to use in the main series, I don't ever see it going the other way around, where your Pokemon from the main series can then be thrown into Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Because I may be misremembering things here, but I seem to recall a couple years ago at E3, before Sun and Moon and Go came out, they were talking about how there would be some sort of compatibility with Sun and Moon and Pokemon Go, and to the best of my knowledge, that never ended up happening.
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't think it's going to happen. I really think they'd only go from Go to like your main games. I really don't think they'd let you go the other way if they ever got around to doing that.
Yeah, but the implication of it being sort of a reimagining of Yellow, because Eevee was the rival Pokemon in Yellow as well, would be that we'd be going we'd be doing some sort of high def version of Kanto, which would be, I think, the first time we've actually gone back to that continent since what, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, 2009, 2010.
Which would be kind of cool. I mean, it'd be cool to see a high def version of that. On the other hand, it's kind of bullshit that they're not giving us a real Pokemon game.
Yeah, because if you account for the traditional year off that they like to try to work into before they do generational transitions, which they've done as of late, we probably wouldn't be seeing a Gen 8 if it is going to be on Switch, which it seems like it would be, until at the earliest Christmas of next year.
Ew.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be angry about this announcement, the people who want Gen 8. But I think they need to realize if they're going to go full HD with Pokemon and do it right, they're probably going to need more time than they've had. So,
Yeah.
So having this is kind of like something to hold people over on the Switch. You're just going to have to get over it. You don't have to buy it. But come
True.
on. Come on. If you don't want it, don't buy it. But like, you just got a new Pokemon game last holiday season. If we're allowed to call it that.
And the wording from the Pokemon Company and Nintendo, for that matter, about this has always been it's been a Pokemon RPG for Nintendo Switch. They never said it was going to be the next mainline Pokemon RPG for Nintendo Switch.
But would this even be considered an RPG if it has a lot of the Go elements? I wouldn't call Go much of an RPG.
We've seen there was a leaked screenshot a few months back that had the main character doing the Lapras riding with Eevee on their head. So, like the overworld exploration, that element of the RPG, that could very easily carry over. And then you're looking at something like maybe the RPG battles instead of doing the just pick ball from the menu and go to try and catch it, maybe you are flinging it with a Joy-Con or something.
And battles could be you just tapping the screen as fast.
Y'all are not making me excited for this.
In some of the other rumors where you'd catch the Pokemon like in Go, right, Donald?
Yeah.
And there'd be some sort of accessory that would connect to Go and the game.
Yeah, like an expanded version of the Pokemon Go Plus, because Lord knows Nintendo needs to get theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, the timing of it seems right. Like I could see Nintendo basically saying, "Look, we need to get this thing right. We want to be able to say there's a Pokemon game coming within 3 months of launch. So we need something." And well, an HD version of the Sun and Moon engine could probably handle that and get it out within 18 to 24 months of the Switch launching, and then you can go into Gen 8 next year or the year after, God forbid.
Suppose.
I'm willing to give it a chance because I think the alternative to having a Pokemon game come out this year would have been a new Rumble.
Well,
I mean, we might still get that. I mean, those things got announced with what, 2 months notice?
Yeah, it is possible, I guess. I mean, I do think the Rumble franchise has potential. It's just never been close to reaching it. It's just, I don't even know what to say. It's just not very good. Yes. But I think it would be great if it was more like a grinding type experience where you get better Pokemon and then you team up with your friends online maybe and take out bosses to get better Pokemon drops.
Yeah.
To me, that could be
and Sean from Twin World, who's in the chat room, is pointing out that the online service, they got to keep pushing that, and a new Pokemon game will certainly do that.
True.
I'm very intrigued to see if Gen 8 will whether you will use the online service with a mainline Pokemon game, though, because I'm already paying $6 a year Canadian for cloud storage for my Pokemon games as it is.
I just renewed my subscription, and I don't have Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, or Ultra Moon. I'm waiting for, a Switch game.
Well, you'll probably need to at least pick up like a cheap copy of Sun or Moon just to be able to move those. Probably need that to deposit them through Sun and Moon and then get them into the next games. But there's one announcement that happened last week that I'm really wondering where this is leading. So last week Nintendo announced that they're putting out like a new Switch, a special Switch. It's just a charging stand. It has a little USB 3 port on the side. Plugs
I
in,
like this idea.
plug the Switch in. It's $20. It comes out on July 13th. Also coming out on July 13th, for those who have forgotten, Project Octopath, Captain Toad on 2 systems, the Marina and Pearl amiibo set, and heavily rumored that the Octo expansion for Splatoon 2 is coming out on the 13th as well.
Wow.
So, with that in mind, why the hell did Nintendo suddenly get religion about releasing games in July, and why July 13th specifically?
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. And it's a Friday the 13th.
There's also the fact that I believe it was July 13th in Japan when Mr. Iwata passed away in 2015.
Oh, wow.
Or at least that's when it was reported. Let me check my calendar here.
Yeah, but this is really weird because, first of all, Nintendo rarely has released things in July. I mean, I think they did last year, but it's not a very common thing that they do.
Like there were articles on Nintendo World Report back in like 2013, 2014 about why Nintendo doesn't touch July with a 10-foot pole. Now, granted, last year they put Splatoon 2 out in July and it did gangbusters, so maybe that's convinced them that yeah, you can actually sell a game whenever. We're seeing this in other forms of entertainment, like you don't necessarily have to release in May or the summer or December in order to make all of the money.
True.
But the other confusing thing about this is they're releasing many things on the same day, which they typically don't do. They normally spread things out.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think is going on?
I think some of these dates are going to get moved around.
I don't know. It seems like they're really running out of time to make any sort of changes to the schedule like that. I wonder if maybe they had something in their back pocket they were planning for that might have gotten delayed, like, I don't know, the online service.
Oh, I see.
I'm thinking there might be a new version of the Switch. That's my
A
guess.
Switch Pro, perhaps?
Yeah.
Switch Mini really go after that Vita market?
I don't think there's going to be a Mini. I don't know what it would be different. Maybe a little bigger. Maybe more memory. Maybe a D-pad.
Oh, D-pad would be nice.
But I don't know.
Yeah, because
I think it would still use the Joy-Con, possibly, unless it had no ability to take the things off, which I doubt is going to happen.
No.
And I think it would still fit into the existing dock.
Yeah. And it's just weird just because the last time they did 2 games in one day in July, it was also when they were releasing the new 2DS last year. So actually, last July I got really busy for them. Maybe Capcom gave them something with Monster Hunter.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we'll find out. I think we'll probably find out in a few weeks as to what the rest of Nintendo's plans are for Friday the 13th. But at this point, there's got to be something there. I just can't imagine that they would need to release a new Rev of the Switch on that day unless the hardware owning issues that have been reported on the Tegra platform are that bad. Because most of the stuff I think that was would be on shelves now would probably still have it.
Interesting.
But in other great hardware news, the NES Classic is coming back.
Yay!
As promised last year, Nintendo is bringing back the NES Classic on June 29th. Surprised it didn't do that one on July 13th. And it seems to be the same game lineup as the first Rev. They're also re-releasing the Famicom Classic in Japan, along with a special gold version to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Shonen Jump, which, oh god, that could mean Goku and Smash. I just realized that.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No. But the other factor is that they've confirmed that there will be production of both the NES and SNES Classic through the end of 2018.
That's nice.
And I bet it's probably a straight re-release of the same one, so it'll be just as hackable as the old models.
There you go.
Yeah, TJ is asking in the chat, will the NES Classic still only come with one controller? And I'm thinking it will.
Yeah.
One controller. But hopefully they actually make more of the second player controllers that you can buy
That'd be nice.
separately.
I've
Because
always
right
wanted
now
one.
those are super rare.
I believe because they definitely reprinted the console. It fits and starts after it came out in 2016, but I never saw the controller go up for sale anywhere.
Me neither.
It went up, I think, the
Like-
first time it went up, a few places it went up for sale and sold out almost instantly. I was able to get one, I think, from Walmart,
Nice.
and I haven't seen any of those anywhere since launch.
They went up for sale here. They were sold out faster than the system was, which says something.
Wow.
And I haven't seen another one in a while.
Yeah, they never made more of them, and it was just the initial shipment of the extra controllers. And I think the controllers at one point were selling over $100.
Holy shit.
Now, granted, you can just use like a classic controller if you still
Yeah,
have
that's
any
what
of
I've
those.
been using for the second player.
Or you could use your SNES Classic controller, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I need to get. I might want to get one of those wireless ones though, because it seems like the cords it's going to be the same system right down to the fact that the cord is 3 feet long.
Yeah.
I can make the Super Nintendo work with my current entertainment center setup. I would not be able to do that with the NES Classic.
Yeah, I have to keep my both of my NES and SNES classics are to either side of my monitor right here, so that I avoid the cord length issue.
So you get to play them on what, a 21-inch monitor?
Well, no, it's probably a 21-inch. Now I look at it, I'm right next to it.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, I suppose it would. I mean, I could always stick it. I mean, the thing's small enough; it could probably fit on the part of my laptop where I keep my phone now.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
So look forward to that, and I don't know, another classic system in 2019.
I hope so. Give me
I don't
that GameCube.
I don't think you're getting GameCube.
I don't think I'm getting GameCube either.
Yeah, Cherry Goblin says, yeah, just get a longer HDMI cord. It's not the HDMI cord that's the problem, dude. It's the controller cords.
Yeah.
The default one's 3 feet because it was designed to hook up to the nunchuck style to the Wii remote.
Right.
The controller cables, the extenders are nice. See TJ bringing that up. I do have a few of those. So just add those to your controller and you can sit pretty far away.
Yeah. Now, the other news of last week that's awesome, at least for me. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is coming.
Right.
Capcom finally getting that out there after saying for what, a year they had no plans to localize the game known as Monster Hunter Double Cross. Well, guess what? They're going to be localizing it finally, and it'll be out August 28th. That is.
Did we lose Donald there?
Nope, there he is.
No,
Nope,
it is
there he's gone.
28th.
Donald, we're losing you.
Oh. Hello, is this better?
That is better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll be August 28th, the last Tuesday in August. And yeah, it's going to be nice to have a Monster Hunter game that I can actually play with people and not have to worry about spending $70 a year.
Oy.
That's how much PS Plus and Xbox Live cost here, Zach.
Oh my god.
So how much
I
you gonna
won't
have to
even pay for
uh,
it here.
How much are you gonna have to pay for Nintendo Online?
25. Or actually, no, once the family plan gets set up, it'll probably work out to about $10 a head. Yeah, I went there. But yeah, so I'm personally thrilled. I've been quite jealous of the people that have enjoyed World, but I think this is more the one for me. Although I think I get into
never caught on for me, but
I buy them all, play them for an hour, then give up.
I think it helps to have somebody who knows what they're doing. Like I have a friend who he not only imported Double Cross originally, but he also put about 900 hours into Generations on 3DS.
Oh my god.
And you can transfer your Generation save from the 3DS version.
Ah, he must be pretty thrilled about that.
Oh yeah, he just saved a whole bunch of time.
Although, will there be new stuff? Will
Yeah,
he be able
there'll
to do
be
new things?
Yeah, he'll be able. Oh yeah, he'll be able to jump right into the G rank, which is the ultra tuned class monsters to fight in Monster Hunter. There's whole new sets of armor to go along with it too.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's probably going to be my birthday gift to myself, I think.
There you go.
All right, but Zach, we'll cede the floor to you here because there's a couple of things that I know you want to talk about. Most notably, because I don't maybe hold off on it.
Runner.
Yeah.
So Runner 3, highly anticipated. I love Runner 2. I loved it on Switch, not Switch. I loved it on Wii U, and then I loved it more on Vita. I beat every stage on all 3 difficulties, so I got a little addicted to it at a certain point. But so I was feverishly anticipating Runner 3, and I spent the last week playing it with Neil, and it's really not good. It's a very different game, much more unfair. You guys played Runner 2 or Runner 1, right?
I played both, and the fact that it seems more like Runner 1 than 2 is why I'm holding off for now.
I've only played 2.
I did not play much of 1. I know, in 2 at least, the nice thing is that every stimulus had a response that was predictable. So you could get through a stage in a single go merely by reacting to what you saw coming. Well, in Runner 3, first off, in Runner 3, stages are 3 times as long. I mean, there's 100 gold bars in every stage, and a really long stage in Runner 2 had 50. And there's still only 1 checkpoint. But the thing that makes it frustrating is that random things happen, like the floor will fall away, or an obstacle will drop from the sky directly in front of you without any chance to, react. So you have to start memorizing things, and that's kind of where it lost me. And then the retro stages are not anything. They have commander video in them, but they're not runner. He's just double jumping and running left and right and air dashing, and it's a whole different kind of game, which is, I guess, fine. Some people might like it, but it wasn't very runnery. It is shorter than Runner 2 in that there's only 3 worlds and 9 stages each and a boss fight. And then there's challenge levels, which are impossible. The initial levels are hard enough, but you try hard. A challenge stage, you give up very quickly. You think, why would anyone do this to themselves? So, very disappointing game. I'm glad I saved the money. Let's put it that way. If you must get Runner 3, maybe wait for it to be on sale. Or if you thought Runner 2 was a cakewalk and you really want something much, much harder, this might be right up your alley. So that's Runner 3.
Yeah, I think I was planning to get a game on Tuesday, something to pick up for my trip, but I think I'll just get Mega Man.
Yeah.
At least I know what I'm getting myself into.
There you go. And then the other news from my neck of the woods is that last week it was announced that a NEP game was coming to Switch in Japan and Korea, and I at the time said, I know it'll come to North America. It's only a matter of time, and it's coming to North America. I forget what it's called. I don't really care. It's a NEP RPG. I think it's a more traditional turn-based RPG, not the weird stuff that's in Rebirth. But why not?
And apparently, this one's being developed by a Western company.
Yeah, that's right. That's different.
Yeah.
This might be the good one.
When is it ever the good one with the series?
Well, we're still waiting to find out.
Yeah. It's called Brave Neptunia. It'll be out sometime this year, and I will not be touching it with a 10-foot pole.
I'm sure you'll read my review of it.
I'll read your review, and then I'll just shake my head the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you end up reviewing it, though. I think I know somebody who might have it forced upon him.
I really want that person to have to review Senran Reffel. I really want that person to review Senran Reffel.
And I think I
know I'm going to buy it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I want James to be tortured by that game.
Yeah. We need to bring over gifting.
I know, right?
Yeah, I miss that ability.
You got a game. Oh, cool. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I miss gifting people Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh, God.
Well, at least now it's like Neil can just send you a code, and then you type in. It's like, you know what? I don't think I'm redeeming this.
Yeah, true.
It's just not the same, though.
Yeah, I guess you can go. I've noticed, like at Best Buy, there are actual download codes for some of the eShop games that you could buy like, on cards, which
it's weird.
They're doing more of that, and the same with DLC packs too. You can just buy that off the shelf.
Yeah, like my local Best Buy, because they killed their loyalty program recently, so I got like $15 in gift certificates, so I was able to get Pokemon Crystal for like $2.
I think it's dying here too soon.
Yeah, that actually was on the list here, but yeah, for those who don't know, the Gamers Club Unlocked program seems to be kaputski. They will not be taking any new enrollments. They've like had to send all of the signage back according to letter or information received by noted bot and deal man Wario64.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have it, they will honor it. I think, Justin, you've got it through the end of the decade, and I think I heard you mentioned before the show somebody had it until 2027.
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter that had like stacked it beforehand. Yeah, mine's good. I just renewed it in January, so I'm good till January, I think 16th, 2020. So the good news for me is I get 2 more holiday seasons with it. I know a lot of people who are losing it this year, which really sucks.
I feel as though Best Buy is now actively trying to repel customers.
That's what it seems like.
Merely going in their store is a bridge too far these days, but
yeah, I mean, I was in Best Buy the other day, and I like going to Best Buy for games because of the deals, the 20% off, plus the reward program made it the best place to buy games. But I went in there to pick up Tropical Freeze. I wasn't in any rush to get it on Switch, and there weren't any on the shelf. And I like find something, I'm like, do you have any more of these games? And in the middle of the store somewhere, I don't even know where. It's like, oh, right here, and just like pull it off of a shelf. I'm just thinking, why is this here?
our Best Buy here in Anchorage, at least the one near my house, seems to be purging their video game section in favor of toys.
So it's gone the GameStop route.
Very much so, yeah.
Or yeah, GameStop's more of a toy store now if you haven't been in one in a while.
Yeah, I was in mine last week, and they hardly have any video games anymore.
They just have video game merchandise.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. I mean, not that I mind. I love video game merchandise. You know me, but at the same time, you're like, I'm in a GameStop.
Yeah.
But
my local EB, it's like the Switch stuff's on the left when you walk in, about 4 feet into the store. Nothing but merch for the rest of that wall.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm like tripping over merchandise in GameStops because most of the GameStops around where I live aren't very big, but they
Yeah.
jam so much stuff in there. It's crazy. But I do want to talk one more thing about Best Buy because I want to know if anybody else remembers these days at Best Buy. I think around 2007, maybe a little earlier than that, 2005, 2006, where they sold gift cards and they came in like a little CD jewel case there for gamers, and every time you
I
bought a gift
remember that.
card, you'd get a $5 coupon off on anything $19.99 or up. So
Yeah.
what I did is I went into Best Buy one day. I'm like, I don't want to lose out on these deals, and I bought every one of those gift cards and put a penny on each one. and,
That's good. That's gaming the system.
and
That's
then
good.
for a good long while, I had gift cards, and I used I think almost all of them by the end of it.
That's pretty good.
given,
I like
given the
that.
amount of accessories you were about to experience with the Wii in that time, I don't blame you for jumping on that as hard as you could.
Oh, they got rid of them, but I think by the time the Wii came out, but I still had a ton of them. So when the Wii came out, you're only allowed to use one per purchase. So on launch day at Wii, I'm like, I want everything I'm buying on a separate order. I'm like, here's one for this controller, here's one for this, and I'm saving like $100. I think.
Oh my god,
it was great.
oh,
And it actually worked on the points card too. Then I think.
okay.
Oh God, that would have been amazing. That's like getting free money.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that story.
Best Buy for over a decade for me has been my place to go for games, and if they don't do something to replace this program by the time it runs out, I'm going to be very disappointed, and I don't know where I'm going to go to get my games.
Amazon.
Yeah, but Amazon, like they no longer do the 2 weeks after launch thing. They
Right.
barely introduce, like they barely have it on half the games that I want to pre-order right now. Although granted, I am waiting for E3 because that's the one time of year that there seems to be really good deals for any video games, and I just
That's
load up
true.
my pre-orders at that point. But yeah. So Rip and Potato, Gamers Club Unlocked, and the Gamers Club, and Reward Zone for our Canadian viewers.
And now that
Because
oh, go ahead.
yeah, so yeah, it's like, will Best Buy be around when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out? I don't think so.
I doubt it too. That's a good point. Much less Final Fantasy VII remake, which is coming out
Yeah.
in, 5 years?
By the time it comes out,
They-
according to video game lore, Perfect Dark will be taking place. 2023.
some other rapid fire things here before we if you're going to E3, good luck, and you have to make a reservation if you want to play Smash Brothers.
This is terrible as far as I'm concerned. I've been to 10 E3s, and this just sounds awful. I can't even imagine paying to go to E3, and then at this point being told, oh, by the way, the game knows we're going to be there, but obviously, and be playable and be a huge attraction. You're going to have to schedule an appointment to go play. And it's a game where you're probably going to, especially if you're media like us, and you want to tell people about it and get a good feel for it. A game like Smash Brothers, you're probably going to play multiple times to get a good feel of the different characters and everything.
Oh yeah.
And I can't imagine people getting more than, let's be generous and say 4 rounds during this scheduled time. Because last time Smash Brothers was at E3, they let you play 2 rounds when you got to it.
Serve 1 ticket, so
yeah, 1 ticket.
Good luck.
1 shot.
So they're becoming Sony's VR at PAX. Can't go unless you have an online reservation.
Yeah.
But it's dumb because everyone's. I think Smash is going to be their Zelda this year. It's going to be all about Smash.
The way that I think maybe it gets downplayed slightly, maybe whatever big game they announced during the presentation is going to be the focus of their booth, because I don't think they would have to do this if either the lines were going to be completely crazy, which granted last year the lines for Odyssey were completely crazy, or they don't have as many booths set up for this as they do, or as they normally would for a Smash Brothers game.
Could be.
Especially since since you have the option to play for fun or for glory. So.
Oh yeah. I guess that's smart, but who's going to play for glory, please?
Me.
I would like to think that the people that are going to the E3 away team for the site this year, I believe they have an appointment for it. I'd like to think that they won't have to do this to get all of the Smash time they need in, but they probably will.
Yeah, I remember when Smash was the previous E3, we even had we were able to convince Nintendo to let us have a small site staff tournament on one of their machines in the VIP section of their booth, and we just ran through that pretty quickly. It's probably
nice.
Somewhere, but oh man, this whole scheduling thing just seems like a nightmare. And I love going to E3. I haven't been in years now because of the nonsense that's been going on there. First, only we're showing Breath of the Wild, and then now the public's there, and add this on top of that. It's just not worth the money, in my opinion.
No.
I mean, if you've never experienced E3 before, it might be worth going to still, just to see what it's all about in some sense. But if you're trying to get work done like we are, it's just going to be even worse.
Yeah.
I'm planning to make my trip next year just so I can say I was there before it dies.
Yeah.
Other quick headline. You're going to be able to get Chivos on your Switch starting June 21st. Like Xbox Live achievements are coming to Switch, of course, via Minecraft, which is also coming out in stores on that same day.
Less
and maybe,
excited now.
Yeah. Fun fact I learned from our Slack chat tonight. Do you know that Minecraft save files on the Switch are like 2 gigs?
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So if you have someone who has, I don't know, children who have multiple save profiles on the Switch, you're going to need a bigger fridge.
You're going to need that quality of life 400 gigabyte card.
I saw that for $160 this week. It's like, God damn, I wish that was available here for that price.
Oh, that would be good.
28 gigs, and I just had to go on an archiving spree this week just to clear up enough space for Hyrule Warriors.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if you like your if for some reason you're still in that group that's trying to get 1,000 points and everything, you now have a Switch game to do it with. Did we just find out Microsoft's big deal at E3? The fact that you can play their games on Switch now? And if so, where's Rare Replay?
Yes, that's all I want. I don't care about the other crap.
That minute, the 60-second at a time Zelda version of Zelda will be coming to Switch sometime this year, as well as Inti Creates finally showing off their 2D Castlevania 3 styled, we can't call it Castlevania, Bloodstained. It's set in the Bloodstained universe, but yeah, it's basically them doing Castlevania 3, and it's out, next week.
Yeah, I'm more excited for this Bloodstained than the actual Bloodstained. I prefer the linear Castlevania style gameplay, and I love the retro look. I don't like the Metroid style Castlevania as much.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Why not?
I think Metroid does it better.
Well, sure.
And I don't know. I don't think I like the RPG elements added to the ones I've played.
Okay.
I'd rather just go.
Have you played Aria of Sorrow?
I'm not sure which one that is.
The
That is
last Game Boy Advance game.
I don't remember. I think I may play part of that one.
Okay. It's
no, that wasn't
quite
the one
good.
that had the Jonathan and Charlotte screaming at each other all day, was it?
Oh no, that's Portrait of Ruin.
I mean,
That's
those games
anime
blend in my
Castlevania.
mind. Yeah, all those like Game Boy Advance and DS ones blend in my mind together
Oh.
too much that I don't even remember which is which, except maybe the first one.
I didn't even like Portrait of Ruin. I mean, a lot of people did, but I thought it was kind of shit.
Got the So for those wondering, Bloodstained will be out next week. It'll be $10 US. So
Yeah, why
it's
not?
and it's Inti Creates doing what they do, which is making modern twists on classic games with sometimes having to file off some serial numbers. I'm looking at you, Mighty Gun Bolt Burst.
Hey, between this game and Mega Man Collection coming out next week, I think it's going to be a good week for me.
Yeah.
And we will have more on that next week. We will. I can. If we're doing this on a Wednesday, I won't be here, but sometime we will be back sometime next week to talk about the news as we head into the even sillier season. As we look ahead to that certain trade show in LA in June. But keep it locked to this channel for reviews and all sorts of good stuff. YouTube.com/NWRTV. Mothership is, of course, NintendoWorldReport.com. You can find Zach and Neil's impressions of Runner 3 and all sorts of other goodness there. Keep it. And also, if you want to support the site that supports the show, patreon.com/NWR. I believe we might actually have a patron podcast recording this weekend that I will be a part of. Assuming we can
Nice.
find a third person.
Oh.
And
Okay.
make sure you go to the Discord, guys. It's hopping some days. It's been growing a lot, actually, so come check it out.
Sweet.
Yep, link for that is on the front page of the site. And if you want to bug us individually on Twitter, I am at Donald Mick. Zach is on Twitter at ZMiller1902 for all your dinosaur and well-endowed woman needs.
Cheap.
And Justin is on Twitter at King Nintendo Fan.
Yep, check it out.
All right, that is our show, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.